in James here, and James, you're outside. It's cold. We've been looking at the chair cam quite a bit. I hear you.
It's very hard to type, Jared.
Yeah, no, it's all good, buddy. I'm hearing you now. What have you got?
We're here in Matthews. It is still sleeting. We are more or less sticking with the sleet in my hour-by-hour observations, and there is some silver lining to this. There is just enough coating of sleet on the ground that if you pack it down real nice, you can sleigh ride. As I am currently standing in the street as the sanctioned adult who's watching for cross traffic as the children are coming down the hill here, just on the other side of the camera.
No, that's great. I'm pleasantly surprised to hear that you're in the sleet. Again, the radar is estimating more of a freezing rain event at this point, but if we look at the observations in your neck of the woods, yeah, Monroe is fully freezing rain at this point. Charlotte Douglas is still ice pellets. So you're kind of in that thing there. I suspect that pretty soon, though, you're going to start getting into some of that freezing rain, James. So
I can tell you based on how it feels when it hits my face, i.e. it hurts, that we're still, I think, in sleet ice pellets as opposed to liquid freezing rain.
Yeah, it certainly seems based off of that, and then we'll bring in the chair cam here, just show the accumulations.
Do you want me to go sit in it?
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I think this is good. Let's let this be, and let's watch these accumulations. But I mean, the chair cam has been. I mean, we've seen this get gradually more and more covered with ice pellets as the days go on. Haven't really seen too much growth with the icicles either, which lends credence to the fact that y'all have been solidly in the sleet there in Matthews.
Yeah, the dividing line between me and that freezing rain in Monroe has got to be like a stone's throw down the street.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be something that that we're going to keep an eye on there for sure. Is that look like over time and when do you change over? Because again, when that changeover happens, that's when we start getting concerned about power outages and other problems. James, how is power up in your neck of the woods?
I have not checked. Other than here in the neighborhood, and we still have power here in the neighborhood. We haven't taken any flickers or anything. I think our blessing right now is that the winds are calm.
And there is sledding.
Catching some children. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see once that warm nose begins to move in. I think that may come with a little bit of a surge in the wind too. So that's something that we're going to want to watch for you guys.
Didn't I just say the winds are calm and now right on cue?
Yeah, it just picked up. Yeah, it happens. So yeah, I mean, again, we're going to start to see. I suspect that you may see a changeover soon as a result too. That might be some indication of maybe a little bit of deeper mixing going on there. The wedge starting to erode back a little bit in the upper levels, becoming a little bit more shallow in your neck of the woods. So that's certainly something that we're going to want to watch for you as time goes on. Again, in about 20 minutes or so, we're going to have the governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, on for a briefing from the EOC.
I gotcha!
There's we got a little sledding action going on here. I should have taken that full, but yeah, it's clearly, as you can see, you get enough ice pellets and you get it packed down enough, you still can sled.
How is that, dear? It's good. Okay.
It's good sledding.
Her jacket reminds me, it's a very wet snow, right? So if you're gonna come out in layers because you don't want to get wet in this cold.
No, certainly not. But that's really cool that we're seeing that there. James, I'm gonna just get a couple quick things here. Heavy sleet and mixed snow now in Jamestown. So that's one thing there. We've had a question about power outages in Winston-Salem and High Point. Looking back at the, I'm gonna go grab the Duke map again real quick. I'm not gonna put it on air, but what I can tell you is that when we look up in that neck of the woods here, and it takes a second for me to scroll there because the clustering algorithms and things like that. It looks like looks like you're okay up there right now. There's really not a lot. There's about 14 outages, 20 total, 18 to 20 or so right now reported in Winston-Salem and High Point there. So you're looking okay as far as outages.
Can you see those guys, those pine trees up there?
Yeah. I'm gonna take you full so everybody can see the pine trees.
That's the wind. Right? Right there. That was a gut.
Yeah.
That would hurt a little.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you're going to start to see. I think you're going to start to see those winds really start to kick up. I mean, just your southwest and Monroe, you had a 30-knot gust. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with that. And so, give you a general idea. I've been using knots because that's what the system is telling me. But that's about a 33-mile-an-hour wind gust now recently in Monroe. So, and they've reported now at Monroe also. We just got an LSR in about a quarter inch of ice in Monroe. So we're certainly seeing the we're certainly seeing the freezing rain threat approaching you from
I could
the
probably show
south
you.
and east.
You know, here's an area that has not been cleared. Let's see if that comes on through.
Yeah,
That's probably a quarter inch of we have sleet. It's like little. It's like you're having a snow cone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A good report here from Johnny in Rock Hill. He's starting to see winds picking up a little bit more. Gusts are starting to howl. Seems mainly transition to freezing rain. Precip running on the windows and not bouncing. So that's a really good way to check too, to see if you have freezing rain or sleet. If it's rolling down your windows, then you've got freezing rain. If it's bouncing off of your windows, you've got sleet. And it certainly seems like we're starting to see that transition really take hold now in the Rock Hill area. It looks like there's a little dropout in the radar data there. But we're going to want to watch that closely. Going back to the upstate a little bit too. Again, Lauren's right now reporting freezing fog, which you don't see very often around here. 30 degrees there at Lauren's. Down around Union. Light snow still mixing in there with some mist. I suspect that the changeover to freezing rain is probably imminent there, if it hasn't already happened between observations.
Can I show you something real fast while I got another adult watching the street?
Yeah.
Here's a utility box, right? You can see we got sleet on top, but you can see the water and the ice that's freezing, and you can see some of the icicles that are forming. And this is more or less what they're worried about when you think about the power lines themselves coming down, or tree branches coming down and taking down those power lines along the way. It's that ice that's building up. Ice gets heavy, then we start tree around in the wind, and that's where we start getting into trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's certainly something there that we're going to want to that we're going to be monitoring very closely over the ensuing time. Got a report in Greenwood that there's no ice, which is interesting. Right now, they're reporting light freezing rain and mist at the Greenwood airport, but it also looks like that the edge of the melting layer is approaching there. Again, we have kind of a dearth of observations there. It looks like Newberry and places around there took a pretty decent hit from freezing rain earlier, and either lost power or the instruments froze up. Not really sure, but I haven't seen any observations out of there in a while. So that'll be a little bit of a blind spot there right now. So that's something we're going to want to keep an eye on as we go into time here.
I think a lot of this could be very neighborhood by neighborhood too, which is where those MPing reports come in. Just because what I'm seeing on this street may not be what they're seeing on the street over.
That's exactly right. And again, with the subtleties in this warm nose and how like small pockets can go one way or another very quickly, that can go there. Just got an updated snow report from Highlands. 11 as of 11 a.m. 9 to 11 inches in the area of Highlands. And sledding, yep. And everyone is certainly having you're certainly having a lot more fun than we are down here in Charleston, where it's all rain. We're getting crushed with rain down here right now. I
was worried this morning that we weren't going to be able to do this, and we're out doing it now, because if that rain comes in later, it's going to be a lot more uncomfortable to do this. But Jared, take a look at my tertiary street here, my local neighborhood. I'm not expecting this to be cleared off by the city anytime soon. I wouldn't want to drive it in now, but I'm especially not going to want to drive it in after.
No, absolutely not. And again, this is the kind of thing that we're going to want people to be paying attention to. And not pushing it here. It's just we don't want people to be, if you can avoid traveling, let's do it. I mean, it was getting hairy for Scotty, and he's probably, once he gets on in Morganton, I think once he gets on his home base again, I think that's going to probably do it for him. It's probably going to be a lockdown. Real quickly, for those of you watching in Charleston, I'm going to take this full real quick because we have had some rain, we had some wind move through here, and it's worth noting that we are now getting to the back end of the precipitation now. A lot of the back end of the precipitation coming through now, the Charleston metro area. We're still looking at it. We're still stuck at